Welcome to UXL, where you can learn new skills anytime and anywhere. Visit uxl.com to explore our full course selection. This lesson is part of a larger course. Check the video description below for a link to the full course where you can enroll. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. For your convenience, the course cover displayed on your screen provides the complete course title and lesson title. Let's proceed with the lesson. Lesson: Classification of Workers, Exempt versus Non-Exempt. Understanding the classification of workers into exempt and non-exempt categories is crucial for HR professionals, especially for those pursuing the PHRca certification. The classification impacts wage and hour regulations, including overtime pay, minimum wage laws, and record-keeping requirements. This lesson provides an in-depth examination of these classifications under California law, which often provides greater protections than federal standards. The Fair Labor Standards Act establishes the national standards for wage and hour laws, including the definitions of exempt and non-exempt employees. Exempt employees are those who are not entitled to overtime pay, typically because they perform administrative, executive, or professional duties. Non-exempt employees, on the other hand, are entitled to overtime pay for hours worked beyond the standard 40-hour workweek. However, California has its own set of rules that often provide greater benefits to employees. In California, the Industrial Welfare Commission wage orders govern wage and hour laws, including the classification of exempt and non-exempt employees. These wage orders outline the criteria that must be met for an employee to be considered exempt. Generally, an employee must meet the following tests: the duties test, the salary basis test, and the salary level test. The duties test examines the nature of the work performed. To qualify as exempt under the executive exemption, for instance, the employee must manage the enterprise or a recognized department, direct the work of at least 2 other employees, and have the authority to hire or fire other employees. For the administrative exemption, the employee's primary duty must be performing office or non-manual work directly related to management policies or general business operations, and they must exercise discretion and independent judgment on significant matters. Professional exemptions apply to employees primarily engaged in work that requires advanced knowledge in a field of science or learning, customarily acquired by a prolonged course of specialized intellectual instruction. The salary basis test requires that exempt employees receive a predetermined salary that is not subject to reduction based on the quality or quantity of work performed. This ensures a level of financial stability and predictability for these employees. The salary level test sets a minimum salary threshold that employees must meet to qualify as exempt. As of January 1, 2023, the minimum salary for exempt employees in California is $64,480 per year for employers with 26 or more employees, and $58,240 per year for employers with 25 or fewer employees. Non-exempt employees, conversely, are entitled to overtime pay at 1.5 times their regular rate of pay for all hours worked beyond 8 in a day or 40 in a week. Double time is required for hours worked beyond 12 in a day or 8 on the 7th consecutive day of work in a work week. Additionally, non-exempt employees must receive at least the minimum wage, which is higher in California than the federal minimum wage, and are entitled to meal and rest breaks. One of the critical challenges for HR professionals is ensuring proper classification of employees. Misclassification can lead to significant legal and financial repercussions, including back pay for unpaid overtime, penalties, and damages. For instance, in a landmark case, the California Supreme Court in Dynamex Operations West, Inc. v. Superior Court established the stricter ABC test for determining whether a worker is an independent contractor or an employee. According to this test, a worker is presumed to be an employee unless the employer can prove that the worker is free from the control and direction of the hirer in connection with the performance of the work performed is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business, and the worker is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, or business. The implementation of the ABC test under the California Assembly Bill 5 further underscores the state's stringent approach to worker classification. AB 5 codifies the Dynamex decision and extends its application to various industries, significantly narrowing the scope for classifying workers as independent contractors. This legislation has had profound implications for gig economy companies, which have historically classified their workers as independent contractors. Accurate classification requires a thorough understanding of both federal and state laws. The U.S. Department of Labor provides guidelines, but California's regulations, as stipulated by the IWC wage orders in AB 5, often impose stricter standards. For instance, while the FLSA requires that the primary duty of an exempt employee be the performance of exempt work, California law stipulates that more than 50% of the employee's work time must be spent on exempt duties. This quantitative threshold requires employers to closely monitor and document the time spent on various tasks to ensure compliance. Moreover, California's stringent approach is evident in its wage theft laws, which impose severe penalties on employers who fail to pay wages owed to employees. The California Labor Commissioner's Office aggressively enforces these laws, and employers found in violation can face penalties, interest on unpaid wages, and payment of the employee's legal fees. This legal landscape necessitates meticulous record-keeping and a proactive approach to compliance. In practice, HR professionals must develop robust policies and procedures to ensure proper classification and compliance. This includes conducting regular audits of employee duties and salaries, providing training to managers on the requirements for exempt and non-exempt classifications, and maintaining detailed records of employee work hours and job duties. Employers should also seek legal counsel when there is uncertainty about the classification of employees or the application of wage and hour laws. Statistics highlight the importance of proper classification. According to a 2020 report by the Economic Policy Institute, an estimated 10 to 30% of employers misclassify their employees as independent contractors, resulting in significant losses in tax revenue and employee benefits. Furthermore, a study by the National Employment Law Project found that misclassification leads to an estimated $13,300 in lost earnings per worker per year. These figures underscore the economic impact of misclassification on both employees and the broader economy. Examples of misclassification cases provide valuable lessons for HR professionals. In 2019, the ride-sharing company Uber agreed to pay $20 million to settle claims that it misclassified drivers as independent contractors. The settlement highlighted the importance of compliance with state laws and the potential financial consequences of misclassification. Similarly, in 2021, the California Labor Commissioner's Office cited a construction company for misclassifying 1,000 workers as independent contractors, resulting in over $12 million in penalties and back wages. In conclusion, the classification of workers as exempt or non-exempt is a critical aspect of wage and hour regulations, particularly in California, where state laws often provide greater protections than federal standards. HR professionals must navigate the complexities of the duties test, the salary basis test, and the salary level test to ensure compliance. The implementation of the ABC test and AB 5 further underscores the importance of accurate classification. Proper classification not only ensures compliance with legal requirements, but also protects employees' rights and fosters a fair and equitable workplace. By understanding and adhering to these regulations, HR professionals can mitigate legal risks, avoid costly penalties, and contribute to a more just and productive work environment. This concludes the lesson. We trust you found this video informative and engaging. To enroll in the complete course, please use the link provided in the description below. At UExcel, we are committed to your learning journey. Each course offers a certificate of completion, online support, and downloadable resource files to enhance your experience. If you found our content valuable, we invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to supporting your continued pursuit of knowledge.